Hello whiskey lovers, and welcome once more to one of Mark's whiskey ramblings. And today I would like to talk to you about Highland Park. Now, Highland Park hardly needs an introduction, of course. It is a very popular brand, and they proclaim themselves that they create the best spirit in the world. So it's a very proud and popular brand. Now, she's one of only 2 distilleries on the island of Orkney, the other one being Scapa, and Highland Park was built in 1798. The Orcadians are very proud of their culture and their history. The island has been inhabited for over 5,000 years, but most of their history is linked to Scandinavia, so often the Orcadians themselves considered themselves to be more Viking than Scot. You'll remember one of their releases, the Live Ericsson, which I tasted in Tunisia while I was on my Save the Lars Homestead campaign, Whiskey Rambling 11. It will explain it to you. Live Ericsson and a Viking on the bottle. So they are linked to Scandinavia more than to Scotland, even in their own opinion. At Highland Park, they still malt their own barley. They do that over a peat fire. It's not the typical Islet peat that you are used to. No, it is what we call the Orkney peat, which is peat that is, it's a different composition. And also, they mix it with heather, giving it that very typical smokiness, the Orcadian smokiness, if you could call it that. Now, they use malted barley with 20 ppm. ppm is the phenols, you know, the level of phenols, the parts per million that goes into the malt that is used for the production. Now, they malt their own barley up to 40 ppm, but only 20% of the barley that they use is grown on Orkney. The other is industrial malt, Simpsons, on the Scottish borders, and that only has a ppm of 1, 2 maybe. So they create this balance of 20 ppm for the production of their single malt. It matures on the island. They've got 23 warehouses, 19 of which are the classic dunnage warehouses, only 3 high. The other are, of course, the rick warehouses. And they mature their whiskey in oak casks, all kinds of oak casks except barrels, which are seasoned with Oloroso sherry, so on sherry oak. Now mind you, they use both American oak and Spanish oak, but they season it with sherry before using it to mature their whiskey. Now what I have here is 2 different independent bottlings for the Belgian market. On the one hand, I've got the Smoking Buffalo, which was released in Belgium in honor of AA Gent, which is the local football club here. This was released by the Bonding Dram, Jeroen and his crew. It's a Highland Park in 1998, and it's a cask strength at 56.5% ABV. On the other hand, I've got this Highland Park Single Malt Waasland, which is also a local club. They released this a year afterwards, but it's also a Highland Park 1998, and it is also released at a cask strength of 56.5%. The exact same ABV. So I'm thinking they might be rather similar. They're both from 1998 and they have the same cask strength. So let's see if they are indeed siblings or not. Well, they've both got a nice straw colour, some sunlight in there, a light gold, let us put it at that. Oh, they are clearly siblings. They're both sweet and sugary, with some banana and heather. Got some violets here. Well, yeah, it's the same. Maybe even a touch of red fruit. Pears. Well, they are very alike. Here I've got some more apples and maybe even a hint of red fruit. They've both got white chocolate and a light smokiness in them. But they are very much alike. Yeah, very much so. The palate then. We've got a very spicy attack on this one. White pepper, some licorice maybe, definitely heather and honey. The smokiness is there, but it is rather soft. It's exactly the same. Well, it's a bit sharper. And it's got this nice touch of salt mid-palate coming through, which I didn't get in this one. Yeah, I've got a nice touch of salt on this one. The finish though, medium long, the Orkney peat, nice. It lingers, fades gently on some herbal notes, and now there is a little bit of salt though. This one, what is this? It's exactly the same. Aha, that explains it. They are sister casks. Even though this one was released in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, while this one was released this year, this is a 13-year-old, this is a 14-year-old, but they are sister casks. This one was a cask number 717, while this one appears to be cask 709. So you can imagine them being close together at the Dunwich warehouse. So that makes them siblings, more or less. And it's obvious in the taste, even on the nose, but also in the taste especially, and in the finish. They are very similar, and they are both, and that's the happy thought here, they are both very good, very, very good. These are wonderful whiskies. Highland Park. And one of my whiskey friends, one of my good whiskey friends, is my Dutch buddy Emmanuel from Holland. He's a bit of an HP nut. He collects Highland Park. So Emmanuel, next time you're around, I'm offering you these. Well, I mean a taste, obviously. That's all for now, and I'll see you again at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. Until then, may the Lord be with you.